Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and thank you once again for joining us this morning in this very cold weather. I hope you are keeping warm. I am joined by our academic head. His name is Mr. Kevin Malunga. So today's masterclass is focusing mainly on how to navigate or navigating the legal landscape. So just to take us through all of that and in detail, a broader understanding of our LLB law and why you should consider studying LLB law, I will hand it over to Kevin Malunga. Thank you, Mr. Kevin Malunga, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Komane. I can't see the number of participants thus far. We've got just about 60, and I'm sure the number will be increasing. Yes, so the lady on the screen sort of represents, in many ways, it's almost like a metaphor for the Regenesys magic that we're trying to create. We are at the front, the ladies are running us. We've got a mostly female run law school, mostly female facilitators, of course. We've got Mr. Mark Wasserman, I think he's there somewhere here, former head of school, and other facilitators will be with us. And of course, we are trying to create a school that is a disruptor, that is current. And of course, who we are currently, acting head of school, is Ms. Patience Nyoni, who's mostly belongs to the business school, but is assisting us right now, especially as CEO, as it were, of the school, running mostly the efficiency part. And of course, as you would know, I really deal mostly with the academic side of things. And of course, we've got a very established and quite a diverse faculty, which is across the racial line, which is also across the gender. But of course, I always joke that we are under the control of very young, vibrant females who are the majority in the school, and we are proud of that that constitutional compliance, as it were. And of course, you know, we are trying to be very much a collaborative partner with you, that you get tailored training for the LLB. That it's not just more of the same, because you can go and get an LLB at any of these established public universities, but that's just more of the same. So we're trying, obviously, to have goal alignment, and we'll see, we're trying to create a lawyer who is ethical, who is in touch with their future aspirations, and of course flexibility, as you'll see, in terms of accommodating people who work, people who have careers, etc. Now, the LLB degree, what is the LLB? It's something that is very internationally present and recognized. It is a professional qualification, it's a gateway to legal practice, qualifying graduates to become attorneys or advocates in South Africa after further training and meeting professional requirements. So now, just to digress a little bit, when you meet someone from the United Kingdom who's a lawyer, whether they're a solicitor or a barrister, they have an LLB, which is short for Baccalaureus Lega in Latin, or Bachelor of Laws in plural, right? In other words, you get to know the laws of the land in which you are studying in plural. And then, of course, in South Africa, in terms of accreditation, the LLB must be accredited by the Council on Higher Education and recognized by the Legal Practice Council. to ensure that it meets the standards for professional practice. So I could even just go home now after saying this, because if a qualification is not accredited, don't even bother. Don't waste your money. You see, so Beatrice, I know you've got a job to do, but my work is done. We could just close shop right now and say, look, this is we have established, but let's just go further and say, look, when it comes to the curriculum, it combines theoretical knowledge with practical skills essential for legal practice, including courses in constitutional law, criminal law, and ethics, and it's a 4-year professional degree with 485 credits. So wherever you go, ladies and gentlemen, you will find this dynamic. People always say, no, I want to be a corporate lawyer. I want to be one of the CSI guys you see on TV. Yes, that's fine. But you still have to know all the laws before you can decide to specialize. And then part of my role as a former state law advisor at the Department of Justice, that we had to amend the legislation to make the law more accessible, right? Because previously, and I'm not being disparaging, we love white males, we love white females, we love everybody. But white males were the problem. So they were the owners of the profession. And of course, what then happened was there was a need for amendment to make the legal profession more inclusive. That's how the Legal Practice Act came to be, which opened up the profession to everyone, everybody else, females, previously disadvantaged people of color, etc. So the degree aligns with the Legal Practice Act, and of course, ensuring that graduates meet the legal profession's entry requirements, such as completing articles of clerkship and pupilage. So people often ask, oh, will I be able to do articles? Will I be able to do whatever? No, that's not our job. Ours is to give you an LLB. And currently, our accreditation is for a 4-year LLB, not a 2-year. We don't profess to give people short LLBs. We get a lot of people who have studied elsewhere, and of course so we will give you credits for that. And of course, historically, people had other degrees, and you can still get a degree. Sorry, you can still get a degree in a BA, BCom with law. We're getting a lot of people, just to name, I mean, I don't think there's any harm, because a lot of people come from there. We get a lot of people from EduVos. We get a lot of people from University of Pretoria, from Varsity College, IIE. What is the other one? All of them. In fact, all of them. But there's some big feeders into the LLB program, which are very similar to Regenesys. They've done BCom laws, etc. BProc, if you did a BProc, that's many years ago. It used to be Bachelor of Procurationist. It allowed people to do the practical aspects of law, and they became attorneys. And some of them have been attorneys for many years, and they want to do an LLB now. Unfortunately, we're not able to exempt them because of the old credits. 5 years, as we see, is the cutoff. And then in 1997, during the era of the Minister Dalla Omar, based on what I just alluded to earlier on, and as I said, this is not a history session, but the history of the law in South Africa was such that it was very unequally skewed in favor of white males. And if you're a white male, please don't catch feelings on me. Because I'm just laying out the history of the country. So we had to accommodate white females, black females, disabled people, all other people So Dalla Omar said, look, this thing of having people doing a BCom, BA, which is what I did, and I think some facilitators who are here today, like Mr. Wasserman, did the same thing, and others, you know, it took too long and was unfair to people who are economically and politically and in many other ways disadvantaged. So there was a creation of a quicker, more compact 4-year LLB, which is what we have right now. And of course, it's a 4-year LLB, as I've indicated, for you to get all the necessary skills. It's not a 3-year. If you're an undergraduate, you can't do it in 3 years. And of course, we don't profess to have shorter LLBs because of our accreditation. So obviously, we try and make sure that you get enough critical analysis of complex legal issues and training. So and of course, why is this such a popular degree? Now, just by way of interest, ladies and gentlemen, if I just go on a survey globally, world leaders, look at Fidel Castro. I'm not professing to be a communist or capitalist. I'm just neutral right now. Look at Fidel Castro, look at Barack Obama, look at President Cyril Ramaphosa. He also studied the BPROC that I was talking about. President Mandela historically did his LLB in 50 years because of the blockage that he received at Wits, and he eventually got it at UNISA. So many other global leaders have studied law. The wealthiest Black person in the country who's currently in the news, Mr. Patrice Motsepe, is a lawyer who went into business. The CEO of Standard Bank, Mr. Sim Chabalala. We spoke to Matthews Posa about a month ago in one of our masterclasses, an accomplished lawyer and businessman. So there are so many people. The director of Tsotsi, the movie Tsotsi, which won an Oscar, Gavin Woods, is a lawyer, and the list goes on and on. I could list so many other people who have studied law and maybe not even practiced it. Right? It's a thinking tool. It's a way that gives you access. It breaks doors down for you. So if you are a brilliant matriculant and then you decide that you want to just go to the world of work, you might do well, but not everyone is Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg. You need that paper that will say to people, this person is qualified. And law and LLB at Regenesys is one such. And of course, it gives you many versatile career, flexible career options. As I'm saying, you don't have to be a practicing lawyer. You can do many things. And critical in upholding justice and human rights. You've got Youth Day, you've got a lot of holidays that are coming, things. And South Africa is a very, very litigious country right now. People know their rights. And by the way, you don't have to be in South Africa to do this. Let me speed up a bit so that I hand over to the sales team. And then, of course, as I've indicated, recognition and mobility, you can literally just be this person who walks into the room and commands respect and commands, and even when you talk like a person who has information at the back of their mind. You know, there's always a joke about that person doesn't, they say, hey, that person, where did they get their degree? So this one may give you that gravitas, that respect, and of course, entrepreneurial opportunities, because government lately is saying to people, don't just expect to get a job from somebody. It's possible for you to employ yourself. And of course, here we'll give you some of the thinking tools for that. Big elephant in the room is the issue of accreditation, as I've said. CHE accreditation is the marker of whether a degree is recognized or not. It shows quality of education, and and of course that it meets the high standards required for legal education in South Africa. It confirms that the law degree complies with the standards set by government and other regulatory bodies. And you can use, once an LLB is accredited in South Africa, you can use it in other countries as well, subject to regulatory practices of that country. So it's a mark of credibility. So UK LLBs can write some of the board exams for practicing. You can go and write the New York Bar exam, for example. So we're not saying you will get automatic access. You still have to jump that hurdle, but you will have a qualification that is recognized for that purpose and fit for purpose. And of course, institutional reputation. This is an institution that has been there for over a quarter of a century, and as a business school. So you probably will have an easier foot in the door in the business world. Now, the other big issue, ladies and gentlemen, this is regulated, as I indicated, by the Legal Practice Act. Section 26 of the Legal Practice Act talks about minimum qualifications and practical vocational training. So I don't know what this mouse is misbehaving. A person qualifies to be admitted and enrolled as a legal practitioner if that person has satisfied all the requirements for the LLB degree obtained at a university registered in the Republic. And Regenesys Business School and Law School is one such institution. After having completed a course of study of not less than 4 years of study, which is what we have, and of course 5 years if you are in an institution that goes through that route. And as I indicated, we don't offer a 2-year postgraduate LLB, and neither can we represent that we do. So because why that big disclaimer in red is there, and thanks Mark for putting it in there, is really the fact that there are a lot of people who come from other institutions, as I've indicated, with especially the big institutions. You've got a lot of people from UNISA, etc., with a lot of credits, They've done courses already. They could easily do a 2-year postgraduate LLB, but we don't have the accreditation for that. And we don't represent that we do. We do have accreditation, however, for a 4-year LLB. And now, when you're stopped by a traffic cop, and he or she says, "Why are you on the road? Do you have a license to drive on the road?" Now, this screen in front of you is our license to drive. Our accreditation, higher education accreditation and registration. As I said, this is, anyway, if you want it, do a screenshot of it so that if anyone wants to lie to you on some WhatsApp group, you can just tell them you're talking nonsense. This is the ID of the program under the Council on Higher Education, and of course the SACCO registration number is also there. So it's very important that you don't fall for some lies from people who tell you strange things. As I indicated, an accreditation is the alpha and the omega of a qualification. You don't do it if it's we're not a fly by night. Let me repeat, we are not a fly by night. Even the people teaching on the program are top notch. If I'm to use an African term, we use Coke, they are on top of their game. They know what they're doing. So you really need to be don't be fooled by anyone, but you're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to work hard. So, and then of course, another big issue here is the key differences between the Legal Practice Council and the Council on Higher Education. The Council on Higher Education is the licensing body that focuses on the quality of education in institutions. Legal Practice Council regulates the legal profession. So the Legal practice counsel really mostly deals with what happens to you after you are done with your LLB, when you want to be a lawyer. Of course, we have got great goodwill with the Legal Practice Council. The CEO of the Legal Practice Council, Ms. Charles Jimhlu, was the keynote speaker at our launch some three years back. And that's the extent to which we are recognized. And of course, you'll have seen that some of our masterclasses and our events have roped in some of the heavyweights in the legal industry. That's how much we're recognized in a short space of time. And of course, CHE is the accrediting body for educational programs. Whether you are at UCT, you are at Wits, you're a Stellenbosch, or any of the established University of Natal, KwaZulu-Natal, all of those have to be recognized by the CHE. They are not recognized, they are not accredited by the Legal Practice Council. They may have a goodwill relationship with the Legal Practice Council, but the Legal Practice Council does not register qualifications in South Africa, legal qualifications, as it were. It admits lawyers and kicks them out of the profession if they're out of line, etc., and regulates how they do their work. So, and obviously, this is a very, very thorough program offering academic rigor and relevance, meticulously crafted, aligned with South Africa's legal requirements and international standards. And by the way, I know some of you may be watching this from Zimbabwe, from Lesotho, from other countries, from in Southern Africa and beyond. So South Africa, and especially the Southern Africa region, historically uses Roman Dutch law. So for South Africa, you've got Botswana, Namibia, Lesotho, Swaziland, now Eswatini, I might be missing one or two others. They use the Roman Dutch legal system. So in all those countries, the law of nuisance is the same. All those countries, historically, what happens with property is the same, and so forth. The list goes on and on. And as a result, the legal systems are very similar. And of course, each country has its legislation, and each country has its systems of regulation. But it's easier to practice within that jurisdiction. But other countries on the continent and other places, I've taught students from Kenya, Malawi, Nigeria, etc., who have gotten a South African LLB and then have written the conversion exams in their countries. So that should not be a problem. And of course, we are seeing a lot of people with a lot of very educated people who've got PhDs and other things already, who have registered for the program and been able to enjoy their studies. And of course, others are already doing big things. They're CEOs, they're deputy ministers, etc., and they are doing the online program. So, and then of course, specialization. LLB provides a broad legal foundation. It's not specialized, the point, as I indicated, that when you want to specialize, you will have to do further training via your job or further studies, etc. We just give you a frame of all the courses that you study, and it's very important that that is clarified. And specialization often occurs through practice of postgraduate education. So you decide what kind of lawyer you want to be, or if at all you want to be a lawyer. But this will give you a stepping stone towards becoming a specialist and give you a qualification that will make you competitive. This slide here concerning the entrance requirements, I'll leave to Ms. Beatrice Komane to take care of. But of course, like in every other qualification, we deal a lot with, we want people to be competent with English language. We're not saying speak like and speak and write like King Charles or Queen Elizabeth. We just want you to be able to communicate so that you are able to be competitive. And English is the lingua franca of communication around the world, whether we like it or not. So we want you to, and of course, to be competitive enough. And of course, there are requirements for international students and students over the age of 23. Then, of course, there's an issue of exemptions for previous learning. I usually deal with these, and there are literally hundreds of them every day. Not every day, every month. For people who studied somewhere else and then want to, get exemptions. And again, this is we're constrained by the Council on Higher Education, which says that it credits exemption courses must not have been done more than 5 years before that. So right now our cutoff is 2020, and we can't exempt you for more than 50% of the degree that you're coming into, the LLB degree at Regenesys. So on average, we usually give a maximum of over 12 exemptions, not more, so that you can get a degree that is a Regenesys LLB. And then of course, so it's the number of exemptions and the age of the old courses. So some people, you find that they studied in 1998, etc. Sorry, we can't exempt that, unfortunately. Then of course there's contact versus online. This commander will speak to that, but we obviously understand that people need versatility and they need access to, especially people who are working. So we do offer classes, especially for working people, usually after hours and on weekends. And then of course, the contact people come for block sessions on campus in Sandton, Johannesburg, and our contact classes tend to be the younger crowd, but anyone is allowed to do that. And it's a personal choice, really a personal choice. So, and of course, we really want to produce competent legal professionals and maintain the integrity of the legal profession. And you will see that we have a very strong focus on ethics, as it were. So let me hand over to Ms. Beatrice Komane. I may, depending on time, pull out the prospectus, but that may not be necessary. She will just talk to some of the things. I don't know if I should leave. Ms. Komane, should I leave that slide on, or are you fine?
I'm fine, thank you, Kevin. I'm not an academia like yourself, putting me under a lot of pressure with your formal presentation. Thank you, very well done for that. I don't need it, thank you very, very much. I must say that was very, very insightful. Thank you highly for that. If I may suggest, colleagues, those that have joined me, I am seeing your questions, Caitlin, Tafaza, Motlatsi, and we've got another question there from Kwena. If you can, just allow me to just share some insights regarding the entrance criteria, just to touch base on it and broaden it just a little, and of course the application process and insights regarding our financial assistance. Then later on, Mr. Kevin and I will take your questions. So let me start the insights. I think I mainly want to start off with the entrance criteria. So for one to be eligible to register or to apply for this LLB, it's very imperative for you to know how you qualify. So let me firstly highlight the fact that an NQF level 4, that's a national certificate, national senior certificate that's required with a bachelor's endorsement. So we require a bachelor pass, as Kevin has already alluded a bit on the fact that effective communication is very important. So English is one language that's very imperative for one to be able to successfully enroll for this program. So with that said, we are looking for at least 50% in English for first language. If you did English second language, then we will require 60%. So I also need to highlight to those that have a national certificate with a bachelor's endorsement, if maybe you did not obtain a 50% pass in English, or you probably did not obtain a 60% in English second language, do not feel that you will probably not make it for this program. We have a solution for you. Kevin, if I may ask, because for such people, we have an option where they will have to write an English test. Upon completion of the English test, of course,
Yes,
on the results, then they would be able to successfully enroll for the program. So can you just maybe just touch a bit on this test in terms of what our prospective students might expect, especially those, like guys I mentioned, if they did not perhaps meet the pass mark that's necessary for them to enroll. We're giving them a chance, of course, to write that test. If you can just touch a bit, just a bit from that context as to what to expect in that test.
Thanks a lot, Ms. Komane. Yeah, the test is actually quite an easy test, if I can say so myself.
Okay.
It just tests your ability to communicate.
Okay.
Questions are fairly straightforward, but you get firstly, you get some questions that are more straightforward, and then, questions, just for example, questions such as telling us about yourself.
Okay.
If you can write decent English, you will be able to say, I'm Beatrice Komane, I'm an African female, I am very intelligent, I know what I'm doing, etc. And we'll be able to see whether you can write. So the question, the test is not a secret. And then, of course, the second part is then a comprehension, where there's a news article from one of South Africa's well-known media houses. And then you ask questions about what you've read, right? So if I give you a news article about flooding or the weather this week in the Eastern Cape, and I asked you, how many people passed away there? What did the president say? You should be able to answer what the article says. So if your communication skills are adequate, you'll be able to pick that up. So that's all we're testing, to say, hey, look, we don't want someone who cannot communicate.
Makes sense.
You've got to be able to communicate effectively. We're not saying as I use the example of Queen Elizabeth, King Charles, we're not saying we want the Queen's English as people like to say. We just want you to be able to communicate.
Right.
Effectively. Thanks, man.
And articulate yourself accurately. I get it. Okay.
Absolutely. Even if you make mistakes here and there, but it's fine. You've got to be able to we've got to understand. So I've used the sense of Mayua. Many people have seen the sense of Mayua theater over the years. And we've seen some of the lawyers. Remember the lawyer who was kicked out of the profession. There's been so many funny things. We want to make sure that people are not those kind of lawyers. We want lawyers who are able to command respect. Thank you.
Understandably so. So, and then we've got the working class, people that probably completed matric prior to 2008. So a lot of those people might be wondering, can I still qualify to register for this program? Well, the answer is yes. This is through what is called the age exemption process. So just to expand a little or a bit on that, if you matriculated prior to 2008 and probably did not meet or don't meet the current bachelor pass requirement, you can apply for what we call an age exemption certificate. And this is done through the matriculation board. So this is ideal for those who've been working, you've got experience, and now you want to pursue a formal legal qualification. So just so you know, you are able to do that. So the age exemption process is quite quick and simple. If you, of course, have all outstanding or required documents and they are in order, you will be able to apply for that age exemption certificate with the matriculation board upon completion of that. And of course, if you get the certification, then you will be able to be granted access into the program. So as a representative, of course, of the student recruitment team, I do highly recommend that you reach out to us. I will just share my contact details shortly now on the chat box where you can reach out to myself. And of course, the recruitment team will be able to connect with you and we will gladly take you through the necessary steps. So please, if you think you might, if you think this applies to you, don't rule yourself out. We have many successful students currently who are studying with us and they have gone through the same process. So I highly encourage you to go through that and know that you are able to get entrance into the program. So the other issue that I really wanted to touch base on is financial assistance. Just before we talk about the application process, education is necessary. We live in a world where finance is quite a very big barrier. So we, as Regenesys, of course, we've made it very affordable, and this is us introducing other flexible methods that you can look into. So we understand that investing in education is a very, very big decision. And for many people, affordability is one of the biggest concerns. So I want you to know that the flexible payment plans that we have is ideal if you are one of those people that are financially constrained and you really want to pursue your studies into this program or, of course, any other program. So with that said, allow me the opportunity to also inform you of our own, or should I say our very in-house financial aid program. So we've got flexible payment plans. One is called Flexi Payment. The other one is the external funding partners that we have, that's funding. We have Student Hero. So a lot of the people are not so familiar with Student Hero. It's a free funding advisory platform that literally helps people or might help you, apply for a student loan in one place. We've partnered with, or they've partnered with major banks. So feel free to connect with us and we will be very happy to take you through this process. Another option that you probably might not be aware of is Smart Funder. This is an innovative study finance platform integrated with Regenesys Business School. So the aim is just to make the application seamless. We also have, or they also work with suitable banks and banks such as Capitec, as well as NetBank. So the student recruitment team will connect with you. Please post your queries there, post your questions. Just in a few, we will go through your questions. In terms of the process, the application process, I think that's the last step. It's quite straightforward. As long as you've got the application requirements documentation required. So in this case, it will be your matric certificate, it will be your CV, and of course, there is an application fee, which is a once-off application fee of 1,170 that will be required. And once you've completed the application form, and of course, if you meet the entrance criteria, or if you have gone through the matriculation board and you've gotten your age exemption certificate, you will be assisted by one of my team members, and we'll take you through the process. So that's all you need to know. I will also just share the application link right here. You are just going to click on the link, complete the information there. You'll be required to upload documentation. As soon as you've uploaded documentation, be required also to pay that application fee, which is non-refundable, by the way. And of course, we will then be able to receive your application and we will connect with you regarding the next steps. So our July intake is starting in the first week of July. So with that said, that means our last day of registration is end of June. That means we've got a few days left for you to secure your space. So do not procrastinate. Do not keep it hanging when you keep saying, I will get to complete my application next week or the other week. Before you know it, it's the end of June. So please, colleagues, those that are keen to register or join our July intake, I encourage you to start the application process as soon as possible. The sooner the better, because with Regenesys Business School, we're based on campus capacity, very limited seats. So let me firstly, just before we take the questions, let me quickly do this and just post the application link on the chat there. There we go. So for those that are keen to apply now, my advice is for you to do this right now. In fact, the student recruitment team is waiting online. They are working today and will be very happy to assist with the application process. Let me also ensure that I post my, just to share my email address for those that probably might want to connect with me directly. Allow me the opportunity to do that. So that's about it, colleagues, in terms of the entrance criteria. It's been covered. The application process has been covered. And of course, I needed to also just broaden your understanding regarding our flexible payment options. So do not delay, do not procrastinate. Let's start the process as soon as possible. So let me start off. Let me just go through the questions. We've got a few questions here that we need to go through. Kevin, I will, of course, need your assistance here from an academic perspective as an expert.
No problem, madam.
So let me take Motlatsi's question. Motlatsi asked earlier, I would appreciate your clarification regarding the composition of the Regenesys Contact Center team. I have received several calls recently and the unfamiliar accents have raised some concerns about the legitimacy of the institution as the interaction comes across as less professional than expected. Kindly confirm whether these calls are indeed from your official representatives. Let me start off, Ms. Motlatsi or Mr. Motlatsi, by apologizing sincerely on behalf of Regenesys Business School for the unprofessionalism that you might have experienced. We do have offsite offices in Randburg. We've got offsite offices in Nigeria. We've got another one in India. We've been growing. We've got, of course, other offsite offices in other countries like your Kenya and Zimbabwe. So I do confirm that you probably have been contacted by our colleagues from those countries. So apologies if you ever really experience unprofessionalism from any of our colleagues.
Yeah, can I just chip in there, Ms. Coman?
Expand a bit on that, Mr. Kevin. Thank you.
What I would like to to clarify to Mr. or Ms. Potlatz is that differences are not unprofessional. Differences in culture, differences in you see when an American or some other person from another country listens to us speaking, they might find our accent different. You see, so we are a global institution with global reach, offices in India, offices in Ms. Coman has indicated Nigeria and other places. This is a global world, and we need people who understand that and embrace it. If you don't embrace that kind of thinking, you probably will not do well at Regenesys, because it's a very global world. Yeah. But we will hopefully get people to understand that kind of differences. So one of the things that the LLB degree tries to encourage is for people to embrace and understand people who are not like them. Even in South Africa, that you are able to understand that, you know, a person who is not like you is a person. Ubuntu, that's what it is. So we fully understand, and I'm not disparaging the view, but unprofessional is not a word that I would use. I would probably use the word different. Accent is different. It's not the one that you are used to, and that's fine. And of course, all the biggest corporates in the world have off-site call centers. It's not unusual. Whether you're dealing with Microsoft or Google or whatever, that is normal. But I think we will clarify that over time. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Kevin. Bearing in mind, of course, also of the cultural and developmental differences. So thank you for that. We have another question. This comes from Gwena asking us about the different modes. Yes, okay, Mlungisi already took that and said we have both contact and online classes. So I was leaving this part for, the last bits of our conversation. So since Gwena has already asked, let me just expand a bit on that. So thank you, Mlungisi, for responding to that query. So online is purely online, where you are going to be attending online sessions, very interactive online sessions. Of course, online tutor support is also available for those that would want to enroll or register through the online platform. Regarding contact, so this is where you will then be coming to Regenesys campus that is in Sandton to attend the contact classes physically. So this is more face-to-face, where we have contact full-time as well as part-time. So with full-time, it's the working class that I spoke of earlier on. These people have got full-time jobs and other commitments. They do not have the luxury to attend full-time. So with them, regarding contact, that's when they would have to attend sessions on Saturdays. With full-time, it's for those that, of course, have the luxury to attend full-time. This is between Monday and Thursday, from morning to late afternoon sometimes, of course, just until 3 or 4 o'clock. So thank you for that. David Charles asked, after a LLB degree is achieved, what is the next step to pass a bar exam? This is perfect for Kevin Malunga. Kevin, please do help me out there with responding to David Charles regarding upon completion of the LLB degree, what would be the next step? regarding, especially to pass the bar exam? That's a very good question there, David Charles. Thank you for that. Over to you, Kevin. Thank you.
Thanks, David Charles. Yeah, as I indicated when I highlighted the role of the Legal Practice Council, currently admission as an attorney or an advocate is regulated by the Legal Practice Council and the Legal Practice Act. So depending on whether you want to be an attorney or an advocate, that's a choice. You know, advocates are more litigation specialists, high court specialists, and of course, attorneys are more generalists and more in contact directly with their clients. Advocates are briefed by attorneys. So you write an exam. If it's the Law Society, what I call board exams for attorneys, and for the bar, there are about 4 or so bar councils now, in light of the changes that have been made. There's the General Council of the Bar, there's the Pan-African Bar Council, there's the National Bar Council of South Africa, something like that, and one other one. So you can write one of their exams and be then admitted as an advocate. So that ball is in your court. You need to pass those exams. You have an LLB at Regenesys, but you still need to write additional exams. Like they have exams like various legal practice exams, which test the practical knowledge of what you're about to get into. So generally, people do well. People who have decent LLBs who are not taking chances. For attorneys, you do articles of clerkship for 2 years with a law firm. With an advocate, you do what's known as pupillage for 1 year. And then, of course, you write that exam. So that's basically how it works. And of course, if you are in another country, they'll make you write a conversion exam, whether you are in Lesotho or Botswana, something like that. But that's pretty standard. Thanks.
Thank you for that. Thank you. David, I hope you are happy with that response. Tabo asked if there's a need to submit CV when applying. So Tabo, we spoke about the 2 different types of people, the caliber of people. If you are under the age of 23 and you pass with the bachelor's, of course, with the mark required, then there will not be a need for you to submit a CV. But if you are applying through age exemption, this is somebody who's above 23, as alluded earlier, that a lot of these people hold extensive experience and want to pursue studies in legal fields. So yes, if you are older than 23, Tabo, we will require your CV. Rendani asks, when does the academic year commence? So Rendani, the great thing about Regenesys Business School is the number of intakes we have. So we've already had the first and second intakes. That was early this year. We had our May intake, and now we are having the July intake that I spoke briefly about earlier. So once hopefully you don't miss this, the intake, of course, but after the July intake, we are going to have another intake, which is late in the year. So that will be the October-November intake. So to answer your question, the academic year starts whenever you start. So if you are going to start now in July, what that means is your year will run from July to July. If you started, your cousin probably started early this year in February, his academic year will start from February will end next year, February, if he started in February. I hope that answers your question. Rapoto asks, good morning, Kevin Malunga and all attendees. Is it possible for the advocate to share the opening presentation? Mr. Kevin Malunga, are you able to share the opening presentation? I doubt, right?
This particular presentation, no, but we have it as a recording, so the recording is available. We can share the recording, but not the slides.
Of course, no, we can't. Mutlatsi, you said you hold a 4-year business certificate, 3 obtained from UNISA and 1 from VERTS. With these qualifications meet the entrance criteria for the course. I highly advise Mutlatsi that you send me those certificates. Please do send them to me via email. You have my email address. We will verify and of course connect with you regarding eligibility. Nomusa asked, completed matric 1999. I have a paralegal diploma. Can this also help, or do I need to write the English test? You've completed a paralegal diploma. Correct me if I'm right, Kevin, is this an NQ of level 5 or a 6? A diploma should be a 6 because a paralegal certificate is an NQ of level 5. So what it means for Nomusa is that you would be eligible to enroll for the program. There will not be a need for you to write the English test, Nomusa. As highlighted earlier, that the English test is for those that got a bachelor pass but did not get the required English pass mark that's necessary. So those people would then be given an option to write the English test. So in this case, you would be eligible to enroll for the program. I see Mlungisi had already responded to that question. Thank you, Mlungisi Kwabe. Moses Naki, can someone be allowed to register and study 2 degrees at the same time? Kevin, as per the application policy or Regenesys registration policy, the last time I checked, this is not possible. Please confirm. Can a person register for 2 qualifications at once with Regenesys Business School?
I don't think that is possible. What I do know that is happening, Ms. Komane, is that there's nothing that stops you. If you have the resources, there's nothing that stops you from doing the LLB at Regenesys and being registered for an MBA at Gibbs or some other institution. We do have quite a few people who have done that, who are doing multiple qualifications at once. I mean, that's fine. That's all. That's more like having 2 cards, 2 or 3 cards. Yeah.
Of course. Thank you for that. Lerato wants to know, I have a 3-year teaching diploma. Lerato, also please send us that qualification. Once you already have an NQ of level 5 for a 6, we obviously would still want to just check in terms of the modules that you covered within that program, and we will be able to advise accordingly. So for those that really just need verification upon completion of your NQ of level 5 for 6, please do share those qualifications, of course, with the transcripts with us, and we will be able to advise you accordingly. Kululiwe is asking, I believe that I'm done with the registration. However, I would appreciate it if you can advise the next step. Okay, so I believe that some of our colleagues joining us today are already enrolled, have completed the application process. So I will advise that you also, Kuliwe, if you can share maybe your student number with me, I will get one of our student recruitment teams to confirm the schedule with you and advise you accordingly on our next orientation as to when it's going to be, so that you are well prepared for the classes that are going to start in July. Orientation, okay, for those that have already completed the registration, have successfully applied with us, well done to you, congratulations. We will absolutely be in contact with you before end of June, just to advise you accordingly on when the orientation will be, just more details about the orientation, because that part is also very imperative just before you start your classes in July. Can you confirm the entrance criteria? I have a BA major in English. I think I've already covered that. Jeanette, I hope you got you got the insights regarding the entrance criteria that I covered earlier. This is also regarding entrance criteria. Okay, there's a question there from Pito. Pito, thank you for your email address. We will definitely connect with you regarding our flexible payment options. Shalizi is asking if you opted for online classes, are you allowed to occasionally attend physical classes, especially for those topics that you might feel the need to get support for? So if you enroll Chalizi for online, you are going to complete your program through that study mode, which is online. We have incredible support though, Chalizi. If you are struggling or you need assistance, you can connect with us. We've got the incredible support team that is there.
Bowling, Krishna, bowling.
Sorry about that, colleagues. So I wanted to also allude on the part that we've got incredible support, the support team that is there to assist you and support you through your academic journey. So if you need assistance, you are more than welcome to visit the campus, of course, and use our library. And if you need extra sessions, you can always speak to your support team. They can arrange that for you and will ensure that you get the necessary support. Our academics, I'm sure you can tell from the conversation or from the insights you got from Kevin Malunga that we are very passionate about human development. And we pride ourselves, of course, with the incredible support that we offer our existing students. So from that perspective, you will be able to get that support necessary. Delpha, if you have a BCom law, would I be credited for LLB? I think that was also covered by Kevin Malunga, just a bit on credits. But please feel free to send me your transcript. I will, of course, get it forwarded to Kevin Malunga to advise accordingly in terms of which modules you can be credited for. Just from that perspective, please make sure that you also share your academic transcript so that we can advise accordingly. I joined late. I might have missed what. Okay, apologies. Will there be a practical lessons offered to students during years of studying? Practical lessons. So, Kevin, can I get your confirmation on this? Once our students are done completing their LLB degree, is there, from like this question here from Nomakosi asking if we will be able to assist them with more practical lessons maybe from our end? Can you?
Yes. Well, because of the huge online mode, naturally, it's not obviously possible to roll out practical studies to everyone in terms of, for example, a law clinic where you come and advise clients. But we are going to be having a law clinic, physical law clinic in the coming year for exit level final year students to hone their skills. So, but very often our facilitators in class, by all means, try and use practical examples as much as possible, because obviously someone who is doing the course from Zambia cannot come to Santon and take part in the so-called law clinic. And then, of course, there will also be a moot court competition which will be running in the coming year. And obviously, this is more for your exit level students. So the practical stuff definitely will be happening, but more for completing students, as it were.
Okay, thank you for that. I saw somebody saying they are struggling to access the link. I would suggest that you just send me an email of your details. I will get one of our student recruitment team to connect with you if you are having issues with accessing the link. My email address is there. I will repeat again. It's beatrice@regenesys.net. So feel free to send me an email and we will connect with you and advise accordingly. Those that are asking regarding or asking for assistance with exemptions credits, please do send your documentation, that's your qualifications, of course, with your transcript to my email address. I will include Mr. Kevin Malunga to just on the email and just advise us accordingly. What else did I miss there? I think we've covered all the questions. Great. Thank you for the informative presentation. Kindly share the recording. Thank you, Rose, for that. I'll send my student number. Thank you, Kuluwe. We will definitely connect. As soon as I get your student numbers, your contact details, my team and I will connect with you and advise you accordingly. There is somebody there who says they can't see the link. The link was posted there. I will repost the link again on the chat box. There we go. You've got the application link there. Again, my email address is beatrice.k@regenesys.net. This indeed has been a very insightful session. I want to thank you once again, colleagues, for taking the time to spend this past hour with us. We greatly appreciate it. Those that have successfully registered, congratulations and well done. Those that are still contemplating, do this now, take this step now and send me your applications. Okay, let's start the process now. And now you know that we literally have until end of June to ensure that you are successfully registered for the July intake. Those that have completed, we will also ensure that we connect with you sometime next week, if not the other week, to ensure that we give you more context and details regarding our orientation, which will be at the end of June or first week of July. So thank you once again for your time. Thank you, Kevin. I don't know if you have any advice or anything to add just before we end today's session. It's already after 12. Very cognizant of the time. Time is against us. But thank you. I'm seeing it's just gratitude. It's just thank you as well. Over to you, Kevin. My name is Beatrice.
No, you said it all, madam. I just want to say thanks for the great input, and thanks to everyone for their time. This is one thing that you will never regret. You know, you can buy a car, it grows old. You can buy an outfit, you get tired of it. This one, it is with you for life. Absolutely. You can get a job, you can resign from a job, you can get fired from a job. You can never be fired from your qualification, regardless of whatever. So this is investing in yourself. You know, people buy, sneakers and cars and things like that, things which depreciate in value. This never depreciates in value. So go ahead and think about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Liam Anthony is asking about the last day for registration. That is end of June. We don't have that much time, Liam. So I believe you are probably on the application link right now trying to complete your application. I'm just going through the questions just to check on the chat box if I might have missed any questions. I think we covered everything, Kevin. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Kwabe, for your assistance with responding to these queries. That's about it from our end. Do keep warm and have a lovely day and a lovely long weekend, considering Monday is a public holiday. To the youth joining us today, do enjoy the Youth Day on Monday. Stay blessed, and thank you once again for your time. Bye, everyone.